Page 89. Karen, let me see your arm, said Aunt Jill, who was showing a boy how to lace together a wallet. Why, it looks to me as if you have poison oak. You had better go see the nurse about it, and be careful not to scratch it. But Aunt Jill, it feels so good to scratch, said Karen, tossing back her hair. I know, but scratching only spreads the poison oak and makes it worse, said Aunt Jill. Now run along and see the nurse. I'll wash out your paintbrush for you. It's almost time for the dinner bell. When the bell rang for the noon meal and the craft shop was empty, Ralph felt his fur rise along his spine. Sure enough, just as he expected, there was the curious paw of Catso exploring the hole in the screen door. Then the pink nose appeared. Catso must have pushed hard because the rusty screen gave way and the rest of his head appeared. Catso did not stop there. He pushed and wiggled until he got one shoulder and then the other through the hole. Then came Catso's front feet, followed by the rest of the beast. Catso was in the craft shop. Where was Sam the dog? Ralph scuttled to the far corner of his cage, where he turned his back to the world and tried to make himself invisible. He heard Catso land lightly on the work table beneath his cage, and knew that this time there was no one to snatch the cat and shove him out the door. Ralph waited. But when nothing happened, he summoned the courage to peek over his shoulder. Catso was calmly washing himself and appeared not to notice. Ralph was not fooled for an instant. He knew Catso was aware of every move he made. Drat that cat, he thought bitterly, as his heart beat faster than the tick of the watch on the shelf beside his cage. Catso licked his right paw over and over with great care and began to wash his right ear. That's right, thought Ralph. Take your time. He was worn out from bracing himself for the pounce that did not come. A real war of nerves, he thought. Just what that cat wants. He's got me where he wants me, and he knows it. Catso groomed his left paw, currying his fur neatly in the direction of his toes. He used his teeth to pull bits of dried mud from between his paw pads, and then began to scrub his left ear. Well, come on, thought Ralph. Get it over. You don't have to be so neat. He would just as soon be knocked off his shelf by a cat with dirty ears as a cat with clean ears. Catso finished washing, looked at Ralph, and glanced away. Ralph, who was familiar with that maneuver, thought, "Here it comes." But this time, Ralph was mistaken. Catso's attention had been caught by the leather strap of the wristwatch hanging over the edge of the shelf. He tapped at it with a curious paw and watched it swing back and forth. Ralph's blood chilled as the claws appeared from the exploring paw that batted the strap once more. Then the claws hooked the watch strap and dragged the watch down to the work table. Why, that stupid cat actually thinks the watch band is a tail, thought Ralph in astonishment. Catso sat very still, listening to the watch tick. He batted it experimentally with his paw, but the watch lay as still as any terrified mouse. While Ralph watched in fascination, Catso picked up the watch in his mouth and, with the strap hanging down like a tail, leapt from the table to the floor, where he dropped the watch, batted it about, picked it up again, and slipped out through his hole in the screen door.